Hello, this is Angelia with today's wisdom. Today's wisdom comes from Daily Ohm. Winged formation. Birds fly in a V. Now, most of the time they do, but not always. We've been in, on our farm. We are evidently in the path of a migration path, but there were millions of birds. I mean, I don't even know how many birds. We videotaped it. It was so surprising to us, and we took pictures and everything. But there were so many birds, just the sky full, and for minutes. And they were not flying in a V. They were just in mass going, the way they were going, south. So, but overall, like ducks, geese, swans, things, fly in a V. So, as they swoop, drift, and glide, inscribing magnificent patterns across the sky, birds are serene displays of grace and beauty. And for the most part, that's true. Most of us feel that way about birds. I know some odd people who don't like animals. I don't know about people who don't like animals. But, most people do think birds are graceful and beautiful. Long a source of inspiration, birds can be messengers from the spirit realm, or a symbol of the human soul. And now, I have doves at my house, and in the morning you can hear the doves out there, and I take that as a spiritual symbol, like, God is here, He's with you, and, I'm letting you know. So, a symbol of the human soul. Some people, I've seen that in different, cartoons and things where the soul leaves the body as a bird. And I think in The Crow that was a thing, but I don't really remember. That was a while back. Oh my gosh. As they cast off their earthly mooring and soar heavenward. An upturned wing, a graceful flutter, all so effortless and free. More magnificent still is the inspiring sight of birds migrating, progressing steadily across the horizon in a solid V formation that is a singular pattern too unique to be mere chance. And that's because it's not. The birds have a leader, usually the oldest, bird, and that bird leads them to their nesting ground in the winter. Pushing steadily forward, this aerodynamic V reduces air resistance for the whole flock. So it's kind of like, those little things on the back of trucks where it kind of comes out like that, and that's supposed to reduce the air resistance and get the truck better gas mileage. And if you've ever ridden close to a semi truck and you got that feel, back there, and you're like, I gotta pass this sucker. But that's how that is. With wings moving in harmony, the feathered group continues its course across the sky, covering more ground together in community than as individuals. And I don't know, they cover about the same amount of ground, but they can get there better, with the air resistance thing with a group. When the bird at the front gets tired, she will move to the rear of the formation where the wind drag is lowest, and a more rested bird can take her place. Like I said, there's usually a hierarchy. Just like in most packs or any other group of animals, there's usually a hierarchy. And, sometimes they move up in line. By learning from the example of our winged guides, all of us can feel empowered to take on daring challenges as we chart adventurous courses. And you can. And like I say, the most important thing is to take that first step. Like Nike says, just do it. So, excuse me, the birds, they're not thinking about, should I do this or not? No. Nature tells them, it's getting cold here, and we don't like that. We're going to fly south now. So, feel the strength of others moving alongside you, as their presence lends power to your wings during this journey across the sky of life. And you should surround yourself with people who are supportive of you and who will be there for you. Sometimes the family of origin is not that. Sometimes you have to seek out people who will do that for you. So, I'm a big believer in making friends, and I think people who don't are just losing out, because those can be people who are there for you, who enrich your life, and you can be there for them. And, you learn more about people the more people you interact with. When buffeted by unexpected gusts, we can choose to find refuge in the loving shelter of friends and family. And I know when I've had some hard times in my life, there have been certain family members who I knew I could go to and talk to, because they would be there for me without judgment or criticism. And there, of course, are friends I know who, are there for you, come heck or high water. And, those are the people you need to keep in your life versus the people who not so much. We may even marvel as an otherwise difficult day passes by like a swift wind, as a kindred spirit charts away for us through the clouds and rain ahead. And, me and my husband, we've had our problems. But we know what each other needs, and we know what each other's wants. And so often I won't have to say a word to him. He'll, come up with something he knows I need, whether it be some food he knows I like, or just a little, something he made at work just to make me happy, or say, hey, we're going to go on a weekend getaway. We need to get away. And I'll be like, oh, thank you. But, and I'm the same way for him. It's like sometimes I can tell when he's sad and he needs cheering up, and when he's tired and, needs some comfort food. And so, we have a good relationship like that. Like I say, we haven't always been on the same page as far as what we wanted out of life, but we have a very good relationship as far as knowing each other, what we want, what we need, and being there for each other. If your wings begin to ache on your journey, look around for somebody else to fly at the front for a while. And, we do that for each other too. Sometimes I'm in charge, sometimes I let him be in charge. It depends on what the situation is, who needs to be in charge. If it's business, I'm in charge. If it's dealing with other males who might be a little sexist, he's in charge. So, he's a tall fella, and he can be formidable when he wants to be. So, I let him usually, if a guy's being a little sexist towards me, give me a little attitude, I'll be like, well, I'm going to let you talk to my husband. So, because usually that doesn't, escalate. Usually when the husband shows up, the guys are like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, here's the thing. I was trying, what I meant was, because unfortunately, there's still sexist. I mean, I call our bank sexist, because it's like they don't trust a woman to take care of business. And I took care of some business at the bank, and then they texted my husband and told him that this was taken care of. And my husband contacted them. He's like, why are you telling me this? I know she told me she was going to the bank. I know she went to the bank, and I know what she ddid. Why are you telling me this? And they're like, oh, well, we just wanted to make sure you're the major account holder. And he said, that's my wife. Why would you do that? And she was like, I don't know. I guess that was a decision of someone who saw the thing, and so sometimes stuff don't look quite right. But as women, unfortunately, there still is sexism in the world that we have to deal with. But we are there for each other. And my children, we're there for each other too. And my children get along. They made a little picture years ago that said "Brothers for Life," because they've decided. I told them, I said, well, I wanted to make friends for y'all. I wanted to make best friends for each of you. So that's why I had y'all, so you could be best friends for life. And they're into that. So they all hang out and go to concerts together and do stuff together. And, that's how they are. Best friends for life, brothers for life. And I hope they stay that way, All of us move faster when we move together. And that is true. If you have a tribe, clan, family, whatever you want to call around you, your life is easier. Your life is better. It's more enriched. And time just goes faster because you're spending time with people you like and you love, and it's just so much better. Let your ego drop earthwards as we soar even higher. And that's a lot of problem in people's life, is their ego. Some people think, other people's ego is a problem, and really it's their ego that's the problem. But if you can move outside of yourself and it's not all about you 24/7, you realize that you can be there for other people, and you can do things for other people, and you can contribute to our world to make it a better place. Birds fly in a V for a reason, and people flock together for a reason. And my grandma used to have the saying, birds of a feather flock together. And I've found that sometimes people are too different. Sometimes they're just too different for you to even deal with, much less get along with. And then you just have to remove yourself from the situation. Birds fly in a V for a reason. They have a winged formation. And people, in a way, I feel like that's kind of a stretchy metaphor, but people, in a way, can too. So think about it. Please like and share this wisdom so we can spread it around the world. If you want to help me out, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to help me out even more, go to my Patreon page and become a patron. Thanks for watching. That's all for now. Until next time.